Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Spirit of Justice. Previously, good old Princess Rafa finally came around. She stood up to her evil mother, and I think evil is the correct word to use here, and went through with the divination seance. She channeled in the vision of her father's last moments alive. And there was a thousand things to dissect about it, but the most important, I think, is establishing who he was speaking with on some sort of phone or radio. Well, no, we know it's a phone. I think Inga was on the line with Dat's Arable, which raises so many questions. Well, we were able to prove that this explosion and roar that was heard must have been a warbad call and the firecrackers that Dats was using to play pranks. And indeed, it may have been the very moment that Dats pulled a prank on Albie and Shadow, and caused Shadow to run off into the palace grounds and steal Naina's hat, so this is gonna get interesting very fast. Let's resume. Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the phone is actually from something hanging out in the bazaar. Isn't that the cry of the warbad over in the bazaar? Ah! Your benevolence, do you think you can clarify the voice for me? Oh yeah, she can do that. Very well. I will now attempt to further refine my vision. What's this? Just as I suspected, it was the call of a warbad. That means the subordinate minister Inga was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace. But why is it important where the call came from? What significance could it have? She's right. Is it important to know where the call was made from? Oh, it's very important. It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end was at the bazaar means that the loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot. But I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in the area. Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Rafa the real source of that sound. Will do. Well, Hornhead, I'm waiting. What was the true source of that explosive sound? Shadow was surprised by a firecracker. Yep.
Take that!
What is that? It's Albie or Guide's statement. In it, he claims that Dat's Arable threw a firecracker at him while he was at the bazaar. Then... Yes, the sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding. Oh!
Objection!
And yet, a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. A bullet fired from Minister Inga's gun. How do you explain that? Well, we don't know whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged? No, I have none. Wait a second. If that loud bang was a firecracker, then could that laugh at the end have been... No, it can't be. Oh, it can. And it is. The laugh came from none other than... the Joker who got a kick out of startling Albie with his dragon snot snaps. That happy-go-lucky Dat's Arable. What? Someone should really put a leash on that guy. I shudder to think how one man can be the cause of so much trouble. Hey there, AJ, PW. Y'all can thank me later. No one asked for your commentary, Mr. Arable. Your benevolence, do you need to revise your insight? I love that guy. He's good. Well, I may have to stop loving him if it turns out he was in cahoots with Inga. Like, come on. It would appear so. Well, this changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rafa's insight again. Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency. Okay, so... My father then took a call from a subordinate at the bazaar. So the laugh at the end is... Sure, okay, subordinate's voice. Who is the subordinate? It would make a lot of sense if it was Dats himself, because as the statement from Albie said, it was only after the explosion went off in the firecracker that officials came up. Huh. Do we have anything about how Inga made sure all hands were on deck at the palace? You know, now that we know that Inga has some sort of face blindness, this note makes a lot more sense. The poor guy must struggle to remember faces, which, honestly, I don't have it nearly as bad as Inga, but yeah, I don't remember faces at all either. You would not believe how many family get-togethers during the holidays I only skated by, desperately finding excuses not to call people by their names. I can't remember faces or names to save my life, except for fictional characters, but I'll chalk that up to my autism or something, I don't know. You know, if someone were to find this note beforehand, they would find exactly what they needed to wear as a disguise to fool Inga. This isn't too relevant to what I need to solve right now. This is 23 years ago. Dogs bark, warbat cry, footsteps. It's the explosion, then the laughter, isn't it? Yes. That's exactly how it goes down. Okay. hold on. At around 3 p.m. Hold on, no, this is 2. The explosion happened at 2 p.m. This is an hour earlier than what Rafa is saying. Okay. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna select the laughter and I hope that works. Explosion, laughter. I don't know, I hope this works. Right, so at around 3 p.m. But this evidence shows that this must have occurred at 2 p.m. actually, so this is a contradiction. I'm hoping this is the correct selection, however.
Objection!
Oh, thank God. Did the murder really happen at 3 p.m.? I mean, if the laugh is coming from the phone, then is it something Minister Inga would have really heard at 3 p.m.? The call came from the bazaar, a place where such sounds as laughter can be heard at any time. Even if that was Dats, he could very well have been laughing like a fool at 3 p.m. Yeah, you have a point there. Hornhead, I'd advise you to think again, carefully. I think you're getting warmer, but you're still a little off. Isn't there another sensation that could more definitively pinpoint the time of the call? You know, something that could only occur at a certain time. Right. Okay, thank you for the kid gloves game. Let's try this again, this time with the explosion. Explosions do not happen every day at the bazaar, I would hope.
Objection!
Your benevolence. There's a glaring problem with this insight. There is? You stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we know what the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence. I suppose I have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3 p.m.?
Take that!
I'll be your guide's statement. Again. Yes, because to summarize what he said, at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the palace courtyard. Around 2 p.m.? That's right, 2 p.m. Not 3 p.m. Oh! Are you suggesting? Wow. That's a good sight. She is mad. She is angry. I think you know where I'm going with this. Dats's laugh, the cry of the warbat, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albie's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all of these sounds. Therefore, what this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that the deceased's final moments were at 2 rather than 3, as we had originally thought. Dare I ask? It means the murder took place a full hour before Dirk entered the tomb. Oh, snap. Polkanka! Oh, how can this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken? Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, yes. Ooh! Not the nails. Now you see why justice will always prevail. Peace. Peace, I say. Now then, defense. I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision. How do you explain that? I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, the figure didn't actually have a face. Oh, you are absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain of who it was. Furthermore, need I remind you that if the vision is from 2 p.m., Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright, which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him. So then, what are we to make of this 1 hour difference?
Wait, it's 2 o'clock? That's when my mother was performing the rite of channeling.
The palace guards had all been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for the rite. Don't tell me.
The royal residence, it would have been virtually unguarded.
Which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb. Defense, are you saying that this is someone disguised as the accused? That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty.
Objection!
Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memories of the dead. That the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance. Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been as clear as day. He's got a point there. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is, why? Apollo, maybe the killer could afford to be so bold because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance vision. What? It's possible that the killer dared to dress in Dirk's clothes and stand square in front of Inga precisely because they knew they could get away with it. But how could anyone be so sure of something like that? A long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder. Oh, I'm right. That impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. What if Inga had it? Then, are you saying that this is literally how Inga saw the world? Yes, we can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case we can. And if he had that disorder, I imagine this is how faces appeared to him in life. Okay, let's say that the killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk. But if you're wondering about how to prove that Inga had it, you already have what you need. Really? Well, defense, do you have anything to show to this court? Yes, I believe so. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look the evidence over again. What explains why the face of Minister Inga's killer is absent in the seance vision? That would be his own notepad. Distinct characteristics are written inside.
Take that!
A notepad? Yes, it was found in Minister Inga's room, and it holds the answer we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics. And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer. How? The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. It is he who saw his killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him. What's this? I believe Minister Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being. And why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics.
Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. By simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me.
Your Eminence, you knew that your husband had such a disorder, didn't you?
He never wished for it to become public knowledge, but I suppose there is no use in keeping quiet about it now. It is as you say. My late husband had a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is prosopagnosia. So Mr. Wright was right. The memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do appear strange at times. There is precedent for this? So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage. Right. So there's someone who is both knowledgeable about the divination seance and aware of Inga's affliction. Your Eminence, who knew about your husband's condition? A small number of servants who tended to his needs. And me. Surely you are not about to insinuate that I committed this crime? Oh, no, Your Eminence. Still, could she have done it? Khura'in has an alibi, remember? Oh, right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2 p.m. In that case... Your Eminence, does Nena know about Minister Inga's disorder? Of course she does. She is our head servant. So as head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition, and as the princess's personal attendant, she is familiar with the divination seance. If these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect, I don't know what would.
Objection!
You witless lawyer! How quick you are to forget the facts. Facts like... when Inga was last seen alive. You claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible. For Rafa saw him at 2:30. We did completely forget about that. No, there must be some mistake. So you see, the murder could only have happened at 3 p.m. The hour Dirk entered the tomb. There is no other answer to this puzzle. Why don't we ever get to make up answers like Khura'in makes up laws? Guess it's back to square one. Where did we go wrong? I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Our deductions so far explain everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30 p.m. I see. And without that final puzzle piece, all of our deductions fall apart. Apollo, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger picture. Time to think outside the box then, right? Let's see. It would be impossible to see Inga walking around after he'd been killed. But what if there was a way to make people think he was alive even though he was dead? Like, a way to make people witness the living dead. Sounds like some kind of TV show. Things like that don't happen in real life. Apollo, did you just... I did. I figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead. Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong after all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen heading into the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how. I certainly hope you will, because I have no idea what you're talking about. The Minister Inga her benevolence saw was, in fact, someone channeling him. It was the deceased being channeled. Well, okay, so I know where this is going. We're probably gonna have to say that no, it wasn't Khura'in. She has an alibi for this time. I guess. It could be Maya, but Look, the whole thing was that there was a dagger stuck in his back. No, there didn't actually have to be a dagger stuck in his back, did there? The cape would hide it. We proved that. Oh. Okay. Okay, maybe it was Khura'in. Interesting. Huh. It's the only way a man who was already dead could have been seen by her benevolence.
Channeled, you say?
That's right, and there are only two people capable of spirit channeling here in Khura'in. Her Eminence Queen Khura'in and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister. It would seem that you are ever bent on making me party to this crime. Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30 p.m., the time at which my husband was seen? Eminence, I believe you had completed the channeling rite and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there too. Ayuta has to keep up with her schedule too? What doesn't she make him do? Then that leaves only Maya. Yeah, it does. Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power toward the nefarious ends. The real killer could have been threatening her. That cannot be. So then Inga's scream, that was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world. Oh. After all, that's when the flow of time would have picked back up for him after he died. So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet, thinking he just had a nightmare. Then, realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead.
Then, her benevolence really did see a dead man running.
That would mean that someone would have to dress Maya up in the clothes. Huh.
Using the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime. How can this be?
The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the stand.
Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness?
It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments. Insult me all you want, witch, but you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth. And after I take a little bathroom break.
Very well, let us adjourn until the next witness is ready.
To be continued. Nice. To be continued right now. May 19th, High Court of Khura'in. Accused lobby. Talk about some really close shaves. Well, you can't get a closer shave than Headsman's brand blades, that's for sure. The trial's not even over yet and I'm already exhausted. Still, you were able to fight back the queen herself in there. Well, maybe with Miss Fey's help I won't have to keep on playing her game much longer. Speaking of which, I guess it's a little late to be asking, but do you think she's well enough to testify, Mr. Wright? She slept all day yesterday out of exhaustion, apparently. But that's all it was, so she should be okay. Barbed head, horn head. Oh, hello, Your Benevolence. Princess Rafa,
You were really impressive in there.
I am the royal priestess Rafa Padma Khura'in. And I am prepared to face my father's death.
Despite your mother's opposition, you stood your ground. And in doing so, you fulfilled your duty as the royal priestess. It was all thanks to you and your friends. Your belief in me gave me the courage to follow my path. So, you have my gratitude. Oh, don't mention it. I know, I shall thank you with a gift. What would you like, a cow, a horse? Or perhaps I shall reward your efforts with a royal shoulder massage. Oh, that's okay, your benevolence. Your gratitude is more than enough, thanks. But I thought you Americans liked massages. My technique was highly praised by my father, I'll have you know.
Hey, you, lawyers! Where's the accused?
Huh? Dirk? That's a good question. Something you want to tell us?
I blew it big time, AJ.
That's...
Shut up, you.
What's going on?
This scoundrel tried to escape with the accused.
What?
We were able to nab him, but the accused is nowhere to be found. Where are you hiding him, you miscreant?
I keep telling ya, I got no idea where he went. I mean, yeah, we booked it together,
but I lost track of him after that.
So Dirk's on the lam now?
Probably, but who knows? He vanished in the blink of an eye.
Vanished?
You want to know something, AJ? Dirk said to me, I can't put Amara in danger. I have to set her free before it's too late.
What? Don't tell me he's gone to rescue her.
But that's what I am telling you. It's why I helped him escape in the first place.
Dats, do you realize what you've done? Well, what's done is done. Still, why did he choose to go rescue her now?
Maybe he didn't want to die with any regrets or something. You know, just in case he ended up on the chopping block.
Why, Dirk? I thought you believed in me.
Don't be like that, AJ. He'll be back as soon as he frees Amara, you'll see.
That's not the point, Dats.
Listen, lawyer, you let us know immediately if the accused contacts you. The trial will now resume. See that you are ready.
Wait, the trial's still on, even without the defendant.
Those were Her Eminence's orders, so you will return to the courtroom at once.
Let's go, Apollo. All we can do is see where the next testimony leads. Bring it on, I say. I wonder why Dirk did that. Did Dirk have some reason to believe that Khura'in would start using Amara's life as a bargaining chip in this court?
Now then, let us resume the trial at hand.
Your Majesty? My client seems to have gone missing.
What do you think, Your Eminence? Should we proceed without the accused?
Why not? My royal guard is searching for him as we speak. They shall find him soon enough, for they would not dare to keep me waiting.
Yes, but what about the law governing our court proceedings?
Then I shall simply revise it. As ruling sovereign of Khura'in, I proclaim the following. Should the accused be an enemy of the crown, they may be tried in absentia.
Well, in that case, I guess there's no problem with proceeding.
Will the witness, Miss Maya Fey, please approach the stand?
Sorry to summon you like this, Maya. Getting dragged out of bed and into court is not exactly a fun wake-up call, Nick. I'm sorry, Miss Fey. It was my idea. Huh? And you are? Oh, right. I am Apollo Justice. It's nice to finally meet you. Oh, so you're Apollo. Nick's told me all about you. You're the new guy with a loud voice and a bit of an unreliable streak, right? Unreliable? Well, that was 2 years ago. You've come a long way since. So why was I called here anyway? Am I under arrest again? I don't blame you. Huh? I guess no one's filled her in. Well, she has been asleep this entire time. Miss Fey, this is a trial for Dirk Sadmati, and you're here as a witness. What? Dirk's been arrested? But... That's not exactly the reaction I was expecting. Oh. She seems awfully familiar with Dirk. I wonder if she was told, hey, if you do this channeling, Dirk will be saved?
Miss Fey, you are suspected of playing a part in the murder of Justice Minister Inga.
What?
Someone allegedly forced you to channel the minister to obfuscate the time of his murder. At least that is what the defense claims.
Wait, what? How could you, Apollo? How did you even reach that conclusion? Sorry, but it's the only way this whole case makes any sense.
Your understandable anger at the defense aside, will you testify, Miss Fey?
Yes, Your Majesty. I don't have any idea what's going on, but I know I didn't channel Minister Inga. I didn't even have the chance to do something like that. Besides, I'd never go quietly along with some criminal's plan. Though I guess there are some things I'd go quietly along with.
It seems the witness doesn't believe she has ever channeled Justice Minister Inga.
And if her words prove to be true, defense, your entire argument becomes moot. You do not understand that, do you? You do understand that, don't you? Yes, of course. It doesn't seem like Miss Fey is lying. Apollo, Maya was being awfully secretive about something just now. And I guess I better dig a bit and try to get her to open up to me first. Yes, okay. I don't have any idea what's going on, but...
Hold it!
You've been asleep ever since you were rescued from the tomb, correct? Uh-huh. I was exhausted after being held captive for so long. That must have been terrible. Maya, Minister Inga didn't do anything to you, did he? Oh no, it wasn't like that. On the contrary, I asked him for all sorts of things. Like what? Like, I'm really craving burgers, and I'll die if I miss an episode of The Plumed Punisher. Acting like a brat netted me a TV and even a few burgers from someplace. He was surprisingly nice to me. Huh? Are you sure we're talking about the same guy here? Huh. He may have loomed large, but he was unexpectedly easy to push around. Even though he's the one who was responsible for pushing those execution papers through. Oh, that. Approving executions was simply his preferred method of stress relief.
Wow! Yeah, that sent me reeling. Wow! With a wife like her, he was probably really pushing them through out of fear. I'm beginning to see why he wanted to stage a coup. In any case, my time in captivity wasn't so bad, but of all the things that happened... I know I didn't channel Minister Inga.
Hold it!
Are you sure about that? Maybe you just don't remember channeling him. Don't remember? I may be 28, but I'm not senile, you know. Something's not right here. Miss Faye, you were confined to Amara's tomb the whole time, is that correct? Yes. But I wasn't conscious the whole time. Okay, then let me ask you something. Did you ever see Nana in the tomb, dressed as Dirk? Huh? Is this some kind of joke? I think I'd remember if I saw something as crazy as that. Plus, I doubt anyone would carry out a crime like that right in front of a potential witness. I hate when he's right. But he's always right. Phoenix right. I didn't even have the chance to do something like that.
Hold it!
You didn't have a chance to channel him. Does channeling someone take a long time? Not really. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty much instantaneous. But I was all tied up, literally. So there was no way for me to make the channeling mudra with my hands to do it. Right. I guess you really didn't channel Inga then. Maya, when mediums are done with a session, they can send the spirit back to the other world themselves, right? Sure, unless they're still in training. Amateurs can get possessed by spirits sometimes, but full-fledged mediums can stay in total control of a session. And they can send the deceased spirit away anytime they want. So I take it you can do that too, Miss Faye? Of course. It's a cinch for the new and improved Mystic Maya Faye, a spirit medium. That's strange. You seem like the same old childish Maya to me. Oh, I'll show you childish, Nick. Besides, I'd never go quietly along with some criminal's plan.
Hold it!
So you wouldn't channel spirits for unseemly purposes? Of course not. Spirit channeling is my bread and butter. And I take a lot of pride in my work. It's like, would you use your legal skills to commit a crime, Apollo? Well, until finger pointing and objecting become deadly, I don't see how they can be used. Wow, you're a regular Mr. Smarty Pants, just like Nick. Always at the ready with some sarcastic comeback. I think I'll save my many objections for after the trial. Yes, please. Anyway, I'd never go along with something like murder. Though I guess there are some things I'd go quietly along with.
Hold it!
It sounds to me like you're trying to hide something, Miss Faye. Didn't anyone teach you about respecting boundaries, Apollo? It's really rude to pry into a person's private affairs. Ah, sorry, I didn't realize. Wait, we're in a court of law. Yeah, I know. Then what was all that about me being rude? I'm just doing my job. So please, just tell me. What exactly are you hiding? Sorry, but I promised Dirk I wouldn't say. You made a promise? To Dirk? A pretty big one. I think this is about all you're going to get out of her. Yeah. Enough!
The witness is denying that she channeled any spirits. Further questioning is pointless. It appears your little fiction has been soundly exposed for what it is. You should listen to her, Apollo. I don't even know why you suspected me in the first place. I mean, you don't have any evidence of me channeling Minister Inga, do you? Oh, evidence, huh? There's no point in even thinking about it, really. I don't see anything special to channel spirits. I don't use anything special to channel spirits, so there wouldn't be anything left behind. That's true. Just like when she channeled the High Priest, all Maya needs is her own body.
If the defense has no evidence to offer, I will have to end this cross-examination.
What now? Even if she doesn't use any special items to do the channeling itself, you'd think there would be something to complete the deception.
Oh. Idea!
I have been wondering about this weird duplicate gemstone. The ashes of the tomb's incense burners, caked in soot. Soot. It was burned. There was a duplicate set of clothes, and it was burned. But of course this gemstone was saved because it's a gemstone, it's metal. Or rock, whatever you want to call it. The gold around it's probably metal. Well, okay. Yeah, I think there's proof. You bet there is. You bet there is. Really?
Well now.
You're bluffing, I take it. I'll be fine. If we're right, then there must be some sort of proof to back us up. Time to do some serious thinking, Apollo Justice. Okay, we know that when Rafa saw her father, he wasn't dressed like Miss Fey, right?
I like where this is going.
Right, because if he was, Rafa would have immediately known he was being channeled. So that means he was dressed in his usual suit when Rafa saw him. Aha! Good thinking, Apollo. This might be the perfect angle to attack from.
Alright, let's have an answer from the defense. What proof do you have that Miss Maya Fey channeled Justice Minister Inga?
Take that!
Is that a gemstone?
We found this among the ashes of one of the tomb's incense burners. Does this gemstone ring any bells, Your Eminence? What? What was that doing in the tomb? Ah, so you do recognize it. But then, as his wife, how could you not recognize this gemstone button from your husband's jacket? Huh? I don't get where you're going with this. Channeling Minister Inga alone wouldn't be enough to fool someone like Princess Rafa, especially if he were wearing your clothes. So you would have had to change into the minister's clothes before channeling him. Ah! Miss Fey, you used the minister's clothes as cover while going from his room to the tomb, where you burned them once you no longer needed them. What? Uh-oh. She seems genuinely surprised by that, Apollo.
Objection!
Miss Fey? Yes? Do you know my husband's name? It was, Inga Karkul Khura'in, right? That is correct, in part, but there's more. Much more. Inga Karkul, how
Oh my god. Oh man! That is the crowning jewel! Oh, there's nothing better. How could this name be any longer or more pompous than it already is? Khura'in III. Oh! Alright! Let's go! Ah! That is his true name! Could it be any longer? Due to its length, only a portion of it was ever made public. So, Miss Faye, did you know his true name? No. I mean, how could I? Precisely. Yet a medium must know both a face and true name of the one she seeks to channel. So then, Miss Faye couldn't have channeled Minister Inga. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Why would I want to randomly channel some old guy I didn't know and didn't like thanks to that last trial? I can't believe this. Apollo, I really don't think Maya's lying. However, your line of reasoning still seems credible to me. I agree, but there's something tripping us up in the details. Maybe we're working off of some wrong assumption again. Apollo? I was thinking. Yes? Since I didn't channel Minister Inga, is it possible that someone else did? Someone else? But who else could it have been? I haven't thought that far yet. Such chatter is without merit. Let us move on, shall we? Honestly, I think this is a good place to end things. I know I'm cutting this video a bit short, but... I'm just craving a break. I am ferociously hungry. My stomach is growling. I can feel it. Oh. So, yeah, no, this was a good session. Wow. Interesting plays from Dats and Dirk and... Apollo. Yeah, this question of who channeled who. Seriously, I need to know, what the hell is going on with Nayna? How much do we know about Nayna? What if Nayna could channel the dead? Is that a thing? So... The women of the Khura'in royal family can channel the dead or perform divination seances depending on what they choose to focus and train on, right? I think it was said that both Amara and Khura'in can channel the dead. I'm not certain about Amara, but if it's true, then female members of the royal family could hold that power, and we know that female members of the royal family can hold very important positions in the government. Now, Nena is the head caretaker. I guess that's an important role. Look, okay, so Nena... Dude, look, okay, hold on. Idea, hold on. Sadmadi, Arable. Khura'in, Guide. And then there's the Inmies. Dude, every single Khura'inese character in this game has a surname. Nena's surname is yet unknown. We do not know Nena's full name. She could be Nena Khura'in. She could be part of the royal family, and as a woman of the royal family, she could have channeling techniques. I think there's a non-zero chance of this. And she's just such a suspicious character. She's been missing all this time and her movements were in the courtyard. What does it mean? And her hat is the same size as the Queen's hat. I can't stop thinking about this. Ooh. I wonder if I'm onto something. Oh, I'm getting excited. Well, I am craving some noodles, so... Gonna make some ramen. Gonna put an egg in it, some spices, bit of soy sauce. Yeah. I think we got some green onion too. Oh, I'm hungry. Well, I'm very hungry. This has been more Spirit of Justice. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So, until then, please take care.